没事，没关系。I broke the noodle. Oh, I did it again. Does this work? Okay. Is this stable? Is it working? Okay, hopefully this stays up. I've just tied my camera to my car's gear shift thingy, but it seems quite stable, so hopefully this works. But yeah, welcome to another Chinese food adventure. This is definitely not my best angle. I'm definitely getting the most of all my chins here, but a couple of days ago I had my subscriber meetup here in Melbourne, and I met someone who told me that their mum makes an absolutely amazing dish. So they've very generously invited me to their house to learn how to make this dish and to try this dish. So yeah, what are we going to be making? You'll have to wait and find out, but very excited for this video. I think it's going to be a ton of fun, and hopefully it's a dish that you guys will be able to recreate at home. Hello!
How are you?
Good, how are you?
Yeah, good, thanks.
So today I'm here with Jun, and Jun was telling me that his mom makes amazing LATIAOZI, which is a dish from Xinjiang. So first I'll just let you introduce yourself.
My mom's from Henan and my dad's from Xinjiang. My mom moved to Xinjiang for work, where she met my dad. And she learned various traditional Xinjiang Uyghur dishes from the Uyghur people. She was living there, working there. I was born in Melbourne.
Yeah. So have you been to Xinjiang?
Yes, I've been to Xinjiang. I went to Xinjiang in 2018, late 2018.
What was it like?
Beautiful, amazing. Because I've been all across mainland China, but Xinjiang is just the nature, the scenery, the culture. I mean, you've got 13 different ethnic minorities over there, so everyone's different. You see a lot of Kazakh people, a lot of Uyghur people, a lot of Hui people. It's just a mix of food, culture, music. Incredible. It's the most beautiful part of China, in my opinion.
Thank you so much for having me today and inviting me to your home, and I'm really excited to meet your mum. So LATIAOZI, that's just like a pulled noodle dish, right?
Yeah, just the pulled noodle. It's like la mian, but it's thicker and it's stretchier.
What kind of LATIAOZI will we be?
So there's different types. You can do, we do like a shihong jidan, and we do like a zoujiang, like a minced meat kind of sauce. But the secret ingredient is the fenyer, the garlic paste. That's what kind of brings all the flavors together, and that's
I think I can hear that being made right now. Is that what's happening in the mortar and pestle right now?
Exactly,
okay, garlic
paste. Just gives it that extra kick.
这就叫串蒜泥儿。
这是我妈。
我叫徐秀梅，我就是先把这个蒜泥儿准备出来。
So for the garlic mud or garlic paste, you're obviously going to need a lot of garlic. We used about 15 cloves or so. Roughly chop the garlic, then add it to a mortar and pestle along with some salt.
先加一点芝麻油，然后给这个开水，加一点开水。
Oh, it smells so good. You want it to be this slightly runny consistency. So I'm just brushing up on some noodle vocabulary. 清面 means resting the noodles, and then 和面 is kneading the noodles.
如果你刚和的面，它好像是不太好，不太揉一揉，醒一醒，揉一揉，那个面
所以这个已经
醒过了。
哦，醒了多长时间？
最起码你可能记得1个小时，1个多小时。
So these are the noodles that have already been prepared. They've been resting for almost 2 or 3 hours, but we're going to make another version here.
咱们就少和一点儿，拍上记纸让你看，要不然我担心做出来，和好面了以后，面还没醒好，拉不起，它不能拉长，那没办法了。
哦，谢谢你。
我就先准备到那儿。
所以这个是温水对吧？
温水，温水和面。
你怎么知道放的多不多？我都不知道应该加多少水。
哦，
我的面 it's always too wet or too dry.
和面反正是习惯了。
I think I just need more practice.
这个面和好了以后是软面，指头一弄它有窝。
Oh. So is this a dish you grew up eating?
Yeah, so we pretty much, every birthday we had, we celebrated with LATIAOZI.
Was it interesting for you growing up eating this kind of food and then finally going to Xinjiang and seeing that flavor profile replicated?
When I went to Xinjiang, it felt like I was at home because
Yeah.
the flavors were exactly the same flavors I had growing up as a kid.
I think I will have the same experience when I finally get to go to Poland, because my life I've grown up with Polish foods. My mum's Polish, and my grandma always would make Polish foods for Christmas, Easter, really all the time. So I'm really excited to finally go to Poland and feel that sense of, oh, I've grown up with these flavors. This is so cool to see.
面要醒一醒，就是和好了以后，你看这都不好看。等醒一醒再揉，光光的了也。
Yeah.
这个你看坑坑洼洼的。醒了一会儿，你看没有那么多坑坑洼洼。
Next, we split the dough into smaller segments, each of which we kneaded again individually. Then we started stretching out each piece longer and longer until it formed like this thick noodle. That was then coiled around itself in a bowl with lots and lots of oil to make sure that the noodles didn't stick together.
醒1个多小时。面的话可能会更好拉吧？哎，对，主要是好拉。 现在把西红柿切一切。
So for the stir-fried egg and tomato topping, you obviously need some tomatoes and egg.
哎，你喜欢不喜欢鸡蛋炒西红柿？
哦，我特别喜欢，但是每个人有不同的方法做，所以我很好奇看你的
对。
西红柿炒鸡蛋是什么样子的。 Just a warning, a lot of salt goes into making this dish, so don't be afraid to use a generous hand when it comes to adding salt here. As well as the 西红柿炒鸡蛋, we're also going to have something called a 肉酱, which is like a, I guess, kind of minced meat with sauce, and then put it on top of the LATIAOZI together. So you want to make sure you've got it on a very high heat for cooking the eggs.
这就是普通饭。
So I've brought a lot of my friends over to try her LATIAOZI, and every one of them says it's the best noodle dish they've ever had.
吃妈妈的饭长大的，他就好不好，他就说好吃好吃。
So when the eggs have that fluffy consistency, you'll know it's time to take them out. Next, add some spring onion to the wok, and then in with, you guessed it, more salt.
有没有葱花的香味儿？有了，
有香味儿。
有香味儿了就。
And then surprise! More salt!
等一会儿，滚一会儿了，加上一点点凉水再。
We added a lot of water to this to give it a lot more sauciness, and I can just imagine how amazing this is going to taste with the noodles. 谢谢，
不咸。
好好吃，好好喝。So when you're happy with the taste of the tomato mix, it's time to add back in the egg.
你看这个西红柿也烂了。
First topping for our LATIAOZI is done, and so simple. Literally anyone watching this video could make it from home.
Just try some. When it's fresh, the egg is. When it's just cooked, the egg is amazing.
I shall try. Oh, look at that. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. The egg is so good.
How is it?
So soft and so flavorful, salty, nice tang from those tomatoes. This is up there with one of the best 西红柿炒鸡蛋 I've ever had in my life, and I'm not even kidding. I'm so excited to try this on top of the noodles. So for the pork mince topping, you're gonna need to rehydrate some dried shiitake mushrooms and then cut them up. First step in making the meat topping is infusing flavor into the oil. You start by putting a decent amount of oil in a wok, along with some Sichuan peppercorns and a star anise.
放个花椒，放个大料，等一会儿还捞出来呢。
When you can start smelling the peppercorn and star anise, it's time to add in some spring onion. It should start to bubble quite a bit when you do so. Then when the spring onion starts to turn brown, it's time to take all the bits out and leave the fragrant oil.
这主要是把它那个香味儿呛出来。
That was cool. So the stuff that went in has just come out, and it's just to infuse the oil. So I guess it's gonna give the dish a really like fragrant flavor. Yeah, that oil smells amazing. Then add ginger, then the pork.
水出来了，还要干。
When all of those meat juices have evaporated, you'll know it's time to start adding in your sauces. You want to add a splash of soy sauce, a dollop of oyster sauce, the dried shiitake mushrooms, and then this. This is the best. If you've never tried laogama, go out and get yourself some right now. That laogama is going to give the entire mixture an amazing spicy umami bang.
多加点还是少加点？
多加一点儿。And then we added a little bit of hot water just to make it a bit saucier.
叫它炖一炖，
Oh.
炖一炖，要不然你光干炒那个肉吃着干干的不好吃。
那你要炖多久呢？
炖上5分钟、10几分钟就可以了。
所以最后放蒜。
放咖喱。
为什么最后放蒜，不是一开始放蒜？
你如果最后放那个蒜起作用，不是对身体好吗？
也生一点嘛，生饭味道好吃嘛，熟饭就没有那个香味儿了，那个辣味儿了。
Usually when I cook, I always put the garlic in first. So it's interesting for me to see the garlic put in last.
Yeah, because you lose the flavor.
Yeah.
I mean, like raw garlic is beautiful. Yeah, when you put it at the end, it goes together better with.
So now it's time to try this pork mixture, the 肉酱. Super, super flavorful. It's very salty, which I think is going to go so well with that 西红柿炒鸡蛋. And I love the bits of mushrooms in that. It's really good. I can't wait to put it all together. Oh, whoa, it's so stretchy.
这就是醒好醒，这就知道我们的时间长了。
I can just already tell how chewy and delicious these are going to be.
拉过来，然后再拉到这边。这个是啥？
没技术，有技术，有技术，不要太前述了吧？
这要喜欢就行，再拉一遍，
你一共拉几次
2、3次吧。
？2、3次 ，OK。Oh, cool!
炖一下不是就更细一些了吗？
Watching her make noodles reminded me of someone performing martial arts. You can just tell so many years of experience has gone into making this dish, and it was just so, so impressive and beautiful to watch.
这不是技术，这就是盘手上一般人谁能这么勾啊？
Huge thanks to Jun for getting this beautiful B-roll for me. So Jun is actually a really talented photographer, and he specializes in portraits, couple shots, as well as pre-wedding photos. So if you're in Melbourne and looking for a good photographer, you can visit his website, which I've put in the description below.
这边
Okay.
这是拉过来，
这样吗？
慢点，慢点，要不然拉得很容易断。对，看看。
对。
没事儿，
没事儿，
没关系。
I broke the noodle.
没事。
I did it again.
没技术，没技术。
没事，特别容易。
第一次我也是拉到，最后下到锅里出来还跟筷子那么粗。
It's really harder than it looks. Especially not breaking the noodles. Oh, this isn't going to be very good for her to do the...
Nah. Nah.
Hello.
We boiled the noodles for about 2 minutes. And then that was it. Time to add all the stuff together. Oh wow.
Extra sauce.
Oh wow.
能做出来不错，我第一次不如你。
So you put in more of the 西红柿炒鸡蛋 than
Yep.
the meat?
Yeah, I wouldn't go too much meat. The secret is this. This is what makes it amazing.
Look at all that garlic. Oh my gosh.
That's how much I usually have, so that's
Yeah.
why I'm putting so much in.
The moment I've been waiting for. Oh my. I'm having a bit of a foodgasm. Wow. There's so many amazing flavors in there, like the tanginess of the tomato. I love that garlicky hit. If you make this at home, you need to make that garlic mud. And those noodles are just so springy and chewy and yum. Look at those.
So seriously, when I went to Xinjiang and I had some, my mum's was better than most of it. Like, you know, I was like eating this, I'm like, what is this? You know, this is this authentic? Like, my mum's is better.
很好吃，很好吃，谢谢谢谢。
No.
Yeah, definitely gonna try and make this for mum and dad at home. So I'm back here in Sydney and I'm ready to try and make these noodles out for myself here at home. So first step was making the dough, and one thing that I learned from Jun's mum is that it's no exact science when it comes to this. It's about years and years of practice and trial and error. So I don't know whether this dough is going to be good or not. I basically just added some flour, then I added water until the consistency felt about right, and this has been resting for about 20 minutes, so I'll start putting it into its little spirally shape soon. But in case this doesn't work out, I've got some instant, well not instant, they're pre-made noodles, fresh pre-made noodles. So if everything goes bad with this, I'm sure I can still have a yummy dish with this. So if you're thinking of making this dish at home, if you're scared of the whole making your own noodles thing, consider just buying some pre-packaged ones. Might be a bit easier. And then it was on to making the toppings, and oh my goodness, this garlic mud is an absolute game changer. It's so quick and easy to make and just absolutely delicious. So one thing I'm definitely taking away from this recipe, and I can see myself using years and years into the future, is this amazing garlic paste that is just so fragrant, salty, garlicky, sesame sauce, and would just make a great topping on anything. So now that I've finished making my toppings and I'm about to get stuck into making my LATIAOZI, I thought I'd give Jun and his mum a little call just to show them how far I've gotten with their recipe and to see what they think. Hello! Hey! Here is my and I haven't started pulling yet, but it's quite stretchy. I don't know, 可能太 stretchy 了。
看你的拉这么好。
They look good.
好得很。
谢谢。OK，那下次在墨尔本见吧。Bye. Okay, so it seems I have gotten the tick of approval from Jun's mum. I'm actually really surprised with how these noodles have turned out. They're way stretchier than I thought they would be. This is definitely my best noodle attempt I have ever made. Oh my gosh, this is hilarious. Check out how thick these noodles are. I would count this as a big win for me, to be honest, but I guess we'll wait and see how it actually tastes. I've got Mum, Dad and Beck. They're upstairs, they're hungry, they're ready for some lunch, so they will be the final judge. Noodles have been pulled. They're not perfect. There are a lot of broken ones, so we're gonna put this into the boiling water.
Oh wow, they look amazing.
Really?
Yeah.
They're not as thin as they probably should be, but you like a thicker noodle.
I love
don't
a
you?
thick noodle.
So, handmade noodles.
Wow.
Oh, wow, fantastic.
Thank cute.
Do you make it like that?
No, though I didn't make it like that. I don't have that skill yet. I just tried to make it into a noodle shape, but
It's lovely.
hopefully it isn't, I don't know, too weird. And then you get a decent amount of this garlic and butter.
Smell the garlic.
This is the secret ingredient. And feel free to use some chili oil.
That looks pretty.
Ooh, yours does look good, Dad. Oh, ooh, this looks nice.
Eating all very good job.
You should be able to taste the garlic. There's a lot of garlic in this.
Oh yeah, that's really good.
I love this combination.
I like
Really nice.
the tomato just cuts through the pork. So the pork is really flavoursome and rich, and then you get a bit of acidity from the tomato, and it's just right. And then the garlic is just out there.
The garlic's wonderful.
Right.
So I personally like with a little bit of the chili oil because
Yeah.
I like it zingy, but it's just beautiful.
But one thing that isn't really up to scratch are the noodles. They are better than any other noodle attempt I've made before, but for me they're just a little too thick, a little too doughy, so that definitely needs practice, but I guess it's a good little hack to have some pre-made noodles in the fridge so you can recreate this flavor very easily at home. And yeah, I really think this is a dish that anyone can do. This was very easy to make and not super exotic ingredients. So I encourage you guys to give it a go. If you do try and make this for yourself, please send me a photo on Instagram, I'll repost it. I'm really keen to see what you guys make of this recipe and what you guys think of it. And also, of course, a huge thank you to Jun and his mum for teaching me this dish, for welcoming me into their home, and for sharing their culture with me.
Really, really nice. Beautiful.
Yeah, well, that's my family seal of approval.
Good.
Oh wow, look at them all. So that's it from us here. As Dad would say,
SLC.
yes, subscribe, like, comment. Would love that, would make my day. If you think my dad is cool, subscribe. If you think my mum is pretty, like. If you think my sister is awesome, please comment. So yeah, that's it from us, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.